we recently had one of your favorite owners and one of my favorite owners, Mark Cuban. He had something to say about the national anthem. Let's go hear from him.
And in listening to the community, there were quite a few people that voiced their concerns or really their fears that the national anthem and did not fully represent them, that their voices were not being heard. And so we've had a lot of conversations about whether or not we should play the anthem. And so during the first preseason game, we decided to not play it and just see what the response was, knowing that we were going to have ongoing conversations about it.
Mark Cuban saying right there that he feels like a lot of people in Dallas, and especially a lot of players on his team, don't feel like the national anthem represents them. A lot of people are disappointed with the fact that Mark Cuban said this, and then guess what happens? Adam Silver in the NBA come out with a statement saying that every team will play the national anthem as it's a long-standing policy. So, Caleb, I don't really know what to ask you here, but I'm not going to ask you, do you think that they should play the national anthem? I mean, I could ask you that, but
just ask me that. Just ask me that question.
I will get to that, but before I get to that, I want to ask you, do you think what Adam Silver is doing is right, or do you think maybe he's in a position where he feels like he's forced to kind of do this?
I think he feels like he's forced to do it. The NBA in the bubble did experience its lowest ratings in the past 15 years or something. Like, it was bad. He needs that. He needs those Republican bucks hard. And I think him saying, look, we just have to play the anthem. Like, it just has to happen. I think that's mainly the reason, because I don't know. Like you said, I don't want to get too political, but for me, like, the national anthem, like, I get it being played during the Olympics, like or like if a team's playing in Toronto or something, like, I get that 100%. But like, two teams in the United States playing each other, like, it doesn't really make sense to me to play it. Like, the whole reason they started playing the national anthem at sporting events was in World War I during baseball games. And it's like, okay, I get it, but like, I don't know. I don't think that it needs to be played. But then when you're in Adam Silver's shoes with the money they lost and the money they could lose if they decide not to play that, I definitely understand why he's saying, look, we just have to play it. Like, I'm sorry, but we have to play it. Yeah. Do I agree with it? I don't know. But I understand why he's saying that.
I know. I'm kind of on the same page as you. And I'll be honest, I don't agree with it at all. And that's the whole point of this podcast, is for us to give our true opinions.
Yeah.
And to be frank, it's tough to kind of put himself in a situation where, what am I going to do? Not play the national anthem and, again, turn away a ton of viewers, right? A good example is, for example, me, I'm a season ticket holder. Before every game, there's this guy I know, his name is Tony. He's like an older man, and he's super nice. Like, ever since I've met him, he takes care of me. He's gotten me closer tickets for free. Like, he knows how to hook you up. When we go to the national anthem, I feel like, to me, it doesn't represent maybe me as much, because I don't feel as inclusive. I don't feel as prideful. And that's for several other reasons. And that's okay. And I understand for the other people that it is a big deal. But basically what I'm trying to say is, when he would be standing there, I would be, feeling the need of, okay, I don't want to be on my phone. I don't want to have my hat on. Like, I kind of want to do those things because it's out of respect. He served in the military, right? And I know a lot of people did, but at the same time, a lot of people who served in the military completely understand why people don't care for the anthem.
I see. My thing is, though, and this is getting a little bit off topic, but like, with the whole military thing, like, I understand it, but like, military people really aren't treated good when they come back. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of them just kind of thrown to the curb, and I don't really vibe with that. Like, I don't really like that. And until that flag represents what it's supposed to represent, I can't really get behind that. You know what I mean? Like, the anthem and everything. I don't know. And like I said, like, I'm white. Obviously, I don't face the same issues some of our friends would face, but like, I see it. You know what I mean? Like, you see it. Unless you turn a blind eye to it, there's no way you cannot see what goes on. So for me, the national anthem really doesn't mean that much. The whole, I don't know, man. It's always been weird to me they played it at sport games, because, like, to me, it doesn't really have anything to do with sports. Like, it's not like it's dropping bars about crossing people over or something. Like, it's literally talking about war. Like, I was like, I don't really see the point of this, but I don't know. It's a tricky situation, especially with the political climate today. Like, Adam Silver, I will say he's really walking a tightrope when it comes to this, but it's tough. Like it's not an easy thing for him just to do. It's
Well,
rough.
you said it right there, Caleb. What would you do then? Because to me, I'm like, okay, if I'm Adam Silver, right? I'm in a situation where, yes, most of your fans are going to be more progressive, more liberal, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you can't completely shut out all the Republican fans. I know a ton of, again, season ticket holder, a ton of season ticket holders are Republicans. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of them that were upset about Grant Napier being gone. Now, that's for several other reasons, but that's because that's their childhood. That's what they pay for.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they go to games, because they like that culture, that tradition. So the national anthem is a tradition. It's part of American culture, but it's a very tricky subject, man, because it's like at the same time, you said it perfectly. At the Olympics, I get it. I have American pride at the Olympics. I want Team USA to win, right? And to me, it's like there's no Afghan American players or really any Afghan Americans that represent America in the Olympics. But I still love watching Team USA in the Olympics, and I love when they have that moment where they are raising the flag and they have the national anthem. But at the same time, to play it in an NBA game in America with two American teams playing against each other, like that's literally like the guy that goes up to everyone at his own party and it's like, cool party, right? Nice party, right? Like, okay, we get it. It's cool, but like, why are you showing off to yourself? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's like it'll be like Charlotte versus Phoenix, the third game of the NBA season, and it's like, all right, time to play the national anthem. It's like, come on, none of that matters.